Welcome to Dungeon Class. I'm Gonzo. Logan's here, and we have a couple guests: Fred from How to D&D and Wally from Wally DM. And we are doing another edition of DM's Roundtable, where we ask some questions to each other and we give some answers, and it may be insightful for you. We also want to hear in the comments below some of your answers to these questions. We're going to have a great time, so let's get right to it. And first, we're going to go to Logan from Dungeon Class. And Logan, the first question for tonight is, what is your favorite wondrous item as far as magic items go in D&D right now? What's your favorite and why?
My personal favorite wondrous item is the portable hole. I just have an affinity for the whole Bugs Bunny feeling to it of just pulling out a hole from your pocket, putting it on the ground.
You seen one of these?
And you could
Yeah,
use that as a trap. You could use that as something to sneak your friends into places. I mean, the options are limitless, and I just think it's really fun, and just the aesthetic of some little fabric you pull out from your pocket, put on the ground, someone just falls into it. I just can't get over how funny that is.
hmm
So that's got to be my favorite right now in 5e is the portable hole.
that's great. I used to love when Roadrunner would be running and then, the coyote is chasing him, and yeah, he'd just throw a hole down or something, and all of a sudden he'd fall through. Or
Yeah,
yeah, that's awesome.
Looney
Well,
Tunes
that's
effect.
great, and you'll see, audience, as you watch this video, that we did not tell each other what we were picking because when we each give our answers, there could be some similarities. So we'll get to it. All right, let's go to Wally DM. What's your favorite wondrous item in D
Well,
and D?
I do have a lot of favorites, portable
Okay.
hole being one of them.
Okay.
And it was a little bit of a struggle for me to pick a favorite because there's so many good ones and a few that might get mentioned later, like
Mm-hmm.
rope of climbing, immovable rod,
Mm-hmm.
all fantastic things that you can do a lot of stuff with. But settling on a favorite, I went with the slippers of spider climbing.
Hmm.
Now, the reason I
Oh.
like this is I like to sneak around. I like to avoid traps if I can and corridors that look a little bit sketchy. So, just the fact that I could have my character walk along the side of the wall, maybe walk on the ceiling, crouch down. I'm thinking a rogue or a character that might not have a lot of armor on
Mm-hmm.
and just get that extra sneaking. I mean, if I was a DM and one of the characters is climbing along the wall, I would probably at least give advantage on stealth or something like that, as long as they don't
Mm-hmm.
have anything that's clanging around. But of course, if you do have a character like that, you want to make sure that your change purse is nice and tight. Your bag of holding doesn't have any loose ends, because once you climb up on the top and you're like standing on the ceiling, you don't want your stuff to fall down and give away your possession. But yeah,
Sure.
that's definitely one of my favorites. I just like the mobility of it, and just all the different things you could do just by being able to walk on the walls and the ceiling.
Yeah, that's great. And you better make sure your shoelaces are tied very tight, or else
Hmm.
you're going to slip right at them because gravity still works. So
Absolutely.
that's great. All right, and we go to Fred from How to D&D. Your favorite wondrous item in D&D right now?
So my favourite wondrous item is the Cloak of Billowing, primarily because when you get it, it billows as a bonus action. So it uses up a feature, that bonus
Mm-hmm.
action that you might be able to use for something else, just to make it billow. I've had my players use it numerous times. It always makes me laugh. The rest of the table laughs their head off when it gets activated. And really, the only purpose I've ever seen it have that's sort of functional in terms of, achieving anything is to intimidate somebody or just looking cool. Uh,
Yeah.
so that's the one I like the most, because it's not combat, it's not even really utility. It is
Mm-hmm.
just being a bit of an egg, actually. I
Right.
almost feel like a bit of an egg for giving out that item, but I still like it.
I love it. Well, I don't know what you guys think, but that's awesome. And I,
That is
I would,
amazing.
Hmm.
yeah, I would also give like a +1 or something to a charisma check or something if they're using it in that way. It just sounds like
Mhm.
a fun magical item that doesn't do a lot, but if they're willing to use it and take up a spot on their character sheet with that, then you got to give them something. But that's great. That's great, Fred.
Absolutely. Already, I want to go and walk on the ceiling and put my portable hole up there
Yeah.
and billow my cloak before I step into it. That sounds.
That's awesome.
That'd be the unstoppable character.
Mhm.
Well, it would be, except now we're going to get to my wondrous item.
Okay.
And maybe if we combine all these magic items, that would be the unstoppable character. But I had picked something very similar to yours, Logan, which is funny. But I picked one which you may not have heard of. It's called the Well of Many Worlds. And it's very similar. It's in the Dungeon Master's Guide. It's very similar to that portable hole you're talking about. It folds up into a handkerchief size. It's a piece of black cloth. And if you open it up, it opens up into a 6x6 circle. Black circle, but the difference is that when you use it, anyone that goes in it can be transported to any other world or plane of existence.
Whoa.
So look in your DM's guide. I saw that and I was like, this is amazing, because it gives the dungeon master an opportunity to basically change scenarios altogether. They can go from a pirate ship to the plane of fire to whatever. And if it's used against them, maybe they're put into some really rough situation that they had no idea or weren't prepared for. So it's called the Well of Many Worlds, and sounds like a great magical item that I wish I wasn't saying online, so I could use it on my players and surprise them with it. But and if you put it together with the boots of spider climbing and then the portable hole and the cloak of billowing, you may have the pretty powerful a guy with magic items, that's for sure. So these are some of our favorite wondrous items in Dungeons and Dragons right now. It's something that we enjoy, and your favorites can change from day to day, from campaign to campaign, even from player to player, depending on what you're dealing with. But there's nothing more fun in Dungeons and Dragons than using magical items. That's what brings some of the things that we can't normally see out into the open, and it adds a lot of fun to it. And I want to thank Wally DM and Fred from How to D&D. Please check out their channels. And most importantly, let us know in the comments below what some of your favorite or wondrous items are within Dungeons and Dragons this time. And until next time, class dismissed.